Well, I'm happy to be here with Chen from Lifesaver Mobile, the founder of Lifesaver Mobile, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lifesaver Mobile, Chris, we've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
It's a software company. We tackle the problem of phone distraction behind the wheel. It could be actually behind the wheel of any vehicle that's being operated for work purposes. It could be road, it could be warehouse, like a forklift, it could be on the tarmac, like a luggage tugger type of driver.
Wow.
And locomotives. We actually have been now into the rail space, but yeah.
Okay.
So obviously for this event, we're talking about fleet safety.
Okay, and essentially it's an app on a phone, right? Yeah.
Correct. It's an app-based solution managed by a portal, so you basically get to choose the configurations of, how permissive or restrictive it is.
Oh, right.
It all happens in the portal, so it's cloud-based. And then whatever you set by group or company-wide, it goes down, it gets respected by each and every app within your organization.
Right, okay. I mean, let's just drill down on that problem because it has been such a big problem. And I almost think of the Apple Day back in 2008 when it's like, oh, and I got this little thing here,
Steve Jobs, yeah.
Steve Jobs, hence all the great things that come of it, and yet we're just addicted to this thing,
1,000%.
and it transfers into the car. So,
absolutely.
What's your take on all that?
Yeah. So what had happened back in the day, and I think unless you're close to the insurance industry, you wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
So, but for the fleet guys, they really do know this, right? The fleet insurance has just gotten ridiculously expensive, and back in the day when the iPhone and Android were first invented, commercial auto insurance was affordable. Fleet insurance was affordable. It was actually profitable, and companies were okay with writing that type of insurance. Now, fast forward 15 years later, none of these companies have made, like the whole industry, there's lots of data on this that you can look up, has lost money every single year for the last 10 of so consecutively. And so companies are always trying to kind of increase premium to catch up with the losses. The losses are not, losses are driven by two things.
Yeah.
The frequency is going up, of course, and severity, but also it's the liability, the third-party liability.
Yeah.
So you have the logo on the side of your truck. Of course, you're gonna be a target, right? I mean, many of my customers are saying that even a fender bender costs like 5 times as much to settle as it used to, like a couple of years ago, right?
Wow, it's incredible. And I mean, it seems like even with this awareness and even with the laws, and now 49 states at least have laws, right? Yeah. So you're breaking the law if you're using the phone. Has the problem mitigated to a certain extent? It's still a big problem, but where are we in that?
I think what's interesting is that everyone knows it's a problem, but it's like, it's so addictive, right? And there's a whole science behind why we're all addicted. We have an ebook on our website that talks about that. It's like literally
it's like a dopamine hit.
Yeah. So Apple and Android, not to blame anyone, but they designed these products to be very addictive.
Yeah.
And not so much, obviously, they didn't think about the driving aspect, but they just said, we want this to be addictive so that they just consume more and more stuff, right? And so, unfortunately, it permeates everything. So it's whether you're walking, driving, anything, right? If you hear a ping, you're going to want to, look at it, right? And you kind of in our culture, right? We feel like we're beholden to respond immediately.
Yes, we do.
And so that's makes things absolutely worse, especially when your boss, right, pings you or your dispatcher pings you. Then you feel like you got to get back to them, and that's where everything just falls apart.
Yeah. So there's got to be safety training in addition to the using Lifesaver Mobile, certainly, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What does that training look like? And it has to come from top down. It's got to be policy driven, and can you just talk on that in a big picture?
Well, it's certainly policy driven. It could be behind the wheel driver training. It could be learning management training. All of the above, and of course technology, right? So technology, a lot of I think it's pretty fair to say traditional telematics doesn't do anything around mitigating phone distraction. Obviously cameras, and we'll talk a little bit about the adoption of cameras, but cameras definitely have a place in this solution. And then that's where we come in. I think we are the the piece that really kind of puts a clamp on it, if you will. So like going back to the cameras, right? So if you think about, and we all know how cameras are just, becoming more and more popular throughout the fleet industry.
Yeah.
There's going to be companies that still don't see the value, and they're in that no camera segment. Then in the middle, and it's a pretty decent sized middle, are the folks that they can't overcome the privacy and HR challenges and the employee challenges of having, or union challenges of having a driver-facing camera. So they'll be stuck in driver forward-facing, and then you have people that have gotten all the way to the end and get driver-facing. So those three segments, if you think about all three segments, obviously if you have nothing, I think we're a great fit there. If you have the forward-facing, that's great for exoneration. Insurance loves that. But what are you doing behind the wheel? You don't know, so that's where we come in too. And then what's the misconception, which I think you're alluding to, Chris, is driver-facing, and it's a misconception that I would say, as we kind of talk to fleets every single week, right? We're seeing more and more people just say, you know what, that's not true, right? It's not a full solve. A driver-facing camera can identify, it can real-time alert, but as I said earlier, because of the addiction, it really doesn't solve the whole thing. It can mitigate some of it, and by all means, and obviously not all cameras are created equal. So some of it gets solved, but it's never going to go to zero through a driver-facing camera. And what's worse is the driver-facing camera creates video evidence that's perfect for a plaintiff's attorney.
Sure.
And so you got to do something about it. And if it's a work device, the easiest thing is to deploy our solution on there.
Yeah, for sure. And just to level set on that, I mean, basically it shuts the phone down.
Yeah.
So you can see someone on the phone, they're like, yeah, I was on the phone, but now that phone is shut down.
Yeah. And the interesting, so
different levels of shutdown.
Yes, it's permissibility and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, most people are successful on the work device, but not so successful on the personal phone.
Yeah.
There's very few companies have the conviction and the motivation and leverage to get this mandated on a personal phone, or at least opt in on personal phone. So some companies, some of our customers have done is, so you take away the work device altogether, they're never going to do that because we have Lifesaver on there. And then when they catch, the driver-facing catches the personal phone, then the policy-driven is, hey, you can either leave the company or you can opt in your phone into Lifesaver. It's your choice.
Oh, I see.
Whatever you want to do. So it's kind of like a penalty box, but it works.
Right.
It works well.
So that's the opt-in for the personal phone, and I really do get that. I mean, we just had a fleet manager in here. He's got his two phones, that's a good thing. So where do you see all this going? I mean, big picture, is there new technology advances we might look forward to, or maybe AI is playing a little bit of
absolutely.
a part here?
I think, I think the best you can do right now is a combo, like, if you can get some camera in there, you should, right? Obviously. Exoneration's huge.
Yeah.
And then if driver-facing, if you can overcome those objections, great. But then I think a lot of folks a lot of people in the fleet world are seeing that two go really hand in hand. That the whole penalty box thing is a great idea. I think it's a great idea. And then future looking, I think a lot of stuff around, I don't want to give away too much of our roadmap, but things like, can we identify that there's other devices in the vehicle that are out there, and can we create an exception report out of that, right? So that that it's there and it's being used. Then we're going to tell you about that too. Again, that's for the segment that doesn't have the driver facing, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Crash probability scoring. We're looking into that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we not only do you want to stop the single most the biggest risk factor for crashes, but you also want to have a sense of how your drivers are doing and who you need to focus on the most, right? And so AI can do that for us, and we have some stuff going on there. So AI is obviously changing everything. We're super excited about what we can do with it, whether it's compliance or just follow-ups, that kind of thing.
Sure. And the last thing I want to drill down on, when you say the single biggest risk factor, I think we all intuit that is true, but that would even be a bigger factor than like drunk driving, simply because It is, okay.
It
Because you
is,
can't be
and-
drinking all the time, but you're driving and you
Well,
have your
yeah,
phone
and-
all the time.
and every single drive you do, I would challenge most people to say,
Yeah.
I've never touched my phone in a drive.
Right. Yeah,
It's happening multiple times
Yeah.
a drive, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's at a stoplight
Yeah.
or during the drive, right? I mean, I think we
Yeah.
all can say that we've done it once before, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there you have it. The single biggest risk factor, and that's what we're trying to attack here, and what Lifesaver Mobile is the reason for being. Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for joining us today, Ted.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All right.
guys. Appreciate it.